Hey people, good morning. It is February. I mean, the last time that I was here in the studios was last month. Feels like such a long time ago, but it's good to be here in another new month, a new week, a month that is called a month of love, where people show love, receive love, and, generally appreciate love. And just in case you do not fall in any of these categories, you do not show love, you do not receive love, you don't appreciate love, maybe it's time for you to change your bad character. That's it. But I'm sure that the people on this side of the studios really are people that know love, show love, receive love, and appreciate love. Blessing. Let me start with the lady first. How are you doing? And how do you feel that it's February?
It's a month
of love.
Yeah. So it means that gift time is here. But talking about changing bad character, I want to appeal to fellow ladies, those in the constituency of women. Please, when you receive loads of gifts, do not respond to that gift with sending boxers and singlets. That's a bad character you should change from.
All right. Okay. Shots fired for Blessing. Let's move over to Doc. How are you feeling today?
You can see we are together.
How are you feeling today? How are you feeling this new month?
I'm feeling really high spirits.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And of course, Priya, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Are you ready to show love this month?
Of course, I've been showing love all.
You've been firing shots.
She started.
Every not an exemption.
All right, this is Post and Perspectives with me, Evelyn Ohiola. So let's just get right into the stories. In case you don't know what this is all about, this is where we feel the pulse of people on social media, what you think about the different topics of discuss, on the show. So my very first story this morning, it's on, the good news from Dangote Refinery, as, the refinery slashed petrol price to 890 naira from 950 naira. Let's begin with this one from Governor. Good morning. Dangote February gift. Uncle Dangote. Thank you. Please do more. And this one is from Douglas Wonukuro, who says, let's see how much government will keep the supply from Port Harcourt and Warri once it kicks off this week. I believe it is what triggered this reduction to clear storage before this one's hits the market. And Tom T says, hopefully the pump price reduction by Dangote Refinery will make others to reduce theirs to get a pleasing level. And Dima of Africa says, good news, the plan is for the price to keep going down till it's affordable. And it says 145 naira. Doc, do you think we can get to that point where we would sell petrol for 145 naira to 1 liter, or it's just a dream that can never come to reality anymore?
Well, I think it's some wishful thinking. We may not get there, it can get better, but it can also get worse. And I think what Dangote has just thrown on the table now is to tell us, guys, when it is cheap, we will sell cheap. When it is expensive, we sell expensive. And I think when that trend comes, people should not go to the streets.
All right. Okay. So, Doc is just saying you're celebrating now. When it goes higher, please just adjust the way you're, celebrating now. We'll move on to the next story. LGA's financial autonomy faces fresh hurdle on CBN demand. Ekaite Yunus says demanding a 2-year audit from LGAs is a strong step towards transparency and accountability, ensuring public funds are managed properly and building trust with citizens. Delight Ozamanze on our YouTube page says requiring a 2-year audit from LGAs is a bold move, but how can we guarantee that the audit findings will result in actual reforms rather than being buried in bureaucracy? And Spike Media TV says Priya is right. You cannot give freedom to the local governments with one hand and take it with the other hand. FG wants to remove the LGAs from the claws of the states, but fastened its own teeth on the LGAs. Rule of law Nigeria says C, Nigeria and constitutional democracy. The federal government went from arguing that these funds were due to the local governments as constitutional entitlements to now require audited financial statements before obeying the same constitutional entitlements. Blessing. I know that you dealt, with this in the course of the show, but then there are people who believe that the big brother is the state government. I mean, to the LGAs, not the federal government, because under the constitution, it's only the federal and the state government that are really recognized, because the federal is under the state. So people believe that the federal government wants to take the local government away from the state so that they can control the local government directly. Do you think this is what's played out?
Is it a case of this? The local government is now the one they are fighting for.
Exactly.
Each person wants to earn. However be the case, I think that it is not too much to ask that the local governments come up with an audit of their accounts 2 years.
Yes.
Somehow, monies have been getting to the local government, whether the states have been the one who's seen what happens with the money, but monies have been coming. So if the CBN is asking, or the federal government through the CBN is asking for a 2-year bank statement so they can audit the account, it's saying, well, you're asking that we grant you financial autonomy. So let's see what you've done, what you've been given so far, so that we can now open an account for you and this money comes to you. So far, there should be books of how these monies have come in, what has been expended for. Now, where that does not happen is like you've been crying for equity and your hand so far has not been clean. So I would say that the local government should satisfy every requirement. So then, it can now be said, we've done our part. Now you give us this, or you must obey the court injunction. So where they have not fulfilled the requirement, they cannot begin to cry foul. So let them fulfill that part, and let's see where it leads from there.
All right, thank you so much.
You see, Evelyn, it's quite very unfortunate that many of us want freedom, but we don't want the burden that comes from freedom. Miles Monroe wrote a book, he called it The Burden of Freedom, and he said there are 2 critical ingredients that every freedom requires, accountability and responsibility. Local governments should grow up, they should become accountable and responsible.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Talking about, burdens and freedom. I remember when I was a child, I was so eager to become an adult. Now I'm an adult, and I know say adulthood no be for jokes, because, the burdens, the financial, everything is just on me. So I believe that this is what Doctor is saying. If you want freedom, then you should also be ready to take responsibility for what comes with it. Very quickly, let's move on to student loan scheme. Over 104 billion naira disbursed, says Tinubu. Antonia Darkflame says, I do not think that student loans are sustainable in Nigeria. People who borrow from loan apps have problems paying back. And she goes on to say the government need to improve federal university structures and review our curriculum. We should prioritize courses that will help build our society and make sure the jobs are available to avoid japa. See, Governor says the 104 billion naira students loans dispersed, can they be verified? So it doesn't look like we're just throwing figures around. Oluwatoyin Agbola has this to say: the act of seizing passport from any student who refuses to pay back the loan is not a good one. There should be another way where government can recover their loan. Okpayemi Adewale says, yes, the student loan scheme is a good thing, but my concern has to do with accountability and repayment. So, Doc, a lot of people are having issues with, the repayment plans, and also the fact that Nigerians have this attitude of not wanting to pay back what they borrow.
I think government has to put its feet on the ground and put very stringent measures that people don't see this as just their own largesse.
You know what happened with the anchor borrower scheme?
Oh, yeah, they call it largesse from the national cake.
Yeah.
While they are eating the cake, they must also be thinking of the generation that are coming after them, even their own children. And I think that is important. Where everybody is responsible and accountable, that cannot be taken away from the student loan scheme. If you have a long road to go borrow, then you must have a very huge pocket to pay back.
Yeah.
Some things happened recently and some federal university, where some students actually, they thought that the money would be given to them, and those who didn't need it applied, and incidentally it was paid straight to school account. And I think these are things that government has to experiment to ensure that the money are meant for what they are supposed to be meant for. That is the development of the structures in the universities, and that those who are indigent are able to get help to go to school, and then nobody is actually left out.
Thank you. And you know, the Nigeria that we seek lies between with us also. If we demand responsible leadership, we also should be responsible
Because
citizens.
we're responsible, actually.
All right, last story very quickly this morning. Nigeria strengthens trade efficiency with national single window. See, Governor again has this to say: the single window systems needs to be well communicated and transparent. Documentations within 7 days is a shift from the old order. It needs to work and the duration reduced with efficiency. Oluwatosin Oluwolabi says, I hope the national single window achieves the aim of reducing inflation and ease trade process. And Ademola says, a national single window project is a crucial initiative for Nigeria's economy transformation. It will contribute to achieving a $1 trillion economy by 2031. It reduces bureaucratic hurdles, causing inefficiencies, leading to increased business costs, loss of revenue, and reduced FDI. Blessing, do you think this is the game changer?
Yes, it's a game changer, really, because it has already reduced the time spent to get documentations and certifications for those who were importing and exporting. Imagine from 30 days to 7 days. That sounds like a miracle, actually. Yeah. But I think more needs to be done in trade facilitation because, like I said, while interviewing the President's Association of Small Business Owners, documentation is one step. What happens to customs clearance? All of those checks, those bottlenecks there, we need to do much more to ease that process. So these two can act like two hands clapping together, and then we have a good sound when it comes to trade facilitation in the country.
All right, thank you, Blessing. Thank you, guys. You know, it's a pleasure always chatting with you. And that's the show, people. Remember that Nigeria belongs to you and I. For every policy, for every regulation, for every decision taken by the federal government, the success lies with you and I to ensure that we take Nigeria from where it is now to where we want it to be. My name is Evelyn Ohiole. Catch you tomorrow on another edition of Posts and Perspectives. But do not go anywhere. Sports Halftime with TC Barra is on after this time back.